This week, we're diving back into part 2 of A Ghost in the Flames, which is Season 0, Chapter 7 of the Seventh Valkyrie, where Cyrus has to deal with a lot of challenges and a rapidly changing state of things. I've worked with my audio artist Zoran to infuse this chapter with more magic, more wonder, and more incredible artistry. And along the way, we're taking a look back at the Seventh Valkyrie journey as we make our way towards Season 3. Welcome to the Seventh Valkyrie Listen Along. Let's rock and roll. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Valkyrie Listen Along. I'm your host Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the Seventh Valkyrie. Now, if you're a new listener coming through the series for the first time, welcome. It's great to have you. And if you're a grizzled hero veteran, it's awesome to have you back. Today's episode is Chapter 7, Part 2, so if you haven't gotten there, hold up, get back, listen to the other episodes. They're all special now, so you have no excuse not to enjoy them to the fullest. Anyway. Spoiler warning done. Let's get into our first segment of the day, which is called Inside the Episode, and we give a little bit of play-by-play, make sure we're all remembering the same chapter together. And so this chapter picks up right where we left off, with Cyrus being bagged and dragged through the sewers until they arrive at the hideout of the Sestrans. And it's there that Cyrus meets with Grana, the leader of this group of Sestrans. We get a little bit of the insight into the way that they travel in Edera, through secrecy and willingness to kill to protect themselves. And through this conversation, we get a key piece of information about Cyrus, too. There doesn't appear to be a language that he can't speak. Now, combined with his golden eyes and hair and his claim that he's from Valgardia, he's saved from suspicions of being a spy. But as Cyrus is unfortunate to learn, he goes from being a threat to a treasure very, very quickly. And Grana decides that she will take Cyrus for herself. And before he knows it, he's on a boat about to be taken out to sea with who knows what awaiting him on the waves. Did you guys think we were taking this in a nautical direction? Well, Cyrus does too. But just after he has made his peace with his new lot in life, he smells this acrid smoke, and we get a frantic warning from sea, this panicked response. There's a barge making its way towards the port authority, but just as Cyrus makes out the insignia on the smoking vessel, it touches the docks, and time seemingly stops. Black force comes from nowhere and expands out, swallowing the barge, the port authority, and a big chunk of the bay and the city beyond. And Cyrus is sort of forced to watch, agonizingly slowly, as this force consumes the space in front of him, and then the prow of the boat, and then the Sestrans, and then finally his whole world goes to black. But it's only for a moment, because suddenly there's a column of flame and this shining gold figure is beating back the void. And Cyrus can only watch, frozen, as flame and oblivion clash, this collision of raw forces. And then all in a moment it just stops. And as that black force blinks out of existence, it takes with it all that it touched, except for Cyrus. And so Cyrus falls. That brings us into our next segment, outside the episode. And to start, I'm going to gush over the audio artistry here. Sound effects for the force of this strange thing. You guys will learn what it is later, but it was an amazing addition to the description because it takes us past sort of having to imagine the moment into living it. As Cyrus describes the consumption of the bay, we're hearing this force, this black wall of nothingness ripple out towards us. And that contrast with what had been this bustling seaport is really astonishing. So shout out to Big Z. Creating sound effects for things that don't exist is pretty wild, so props. Looking back at some other stuff in this episode, we've got some more of the Sestrins, and I actually adjusted a little bit of their lines on the remaster, just dialing it in to, again, keep them interesting and ever from straying towards being, cartoonish or stereotypes. But overall, I'm actually very happy with how the Sestrin section turned out, because there's a lot of depth and complexity to them. They're just as comfortable in this world as the Eterans are. We saw them running through. They know how to get around in an Eteran city. And it's not like there's some wispy elving race in hiding. They are just there living in the way that they have to. And they've got dumb people and monstrous people and decent run-of-the-mill people, just like we've seen from the Eterans. And that was really important for me to establish up front in this series. Yes, there is a lot of vitriol between these two groups, but it's mutual, and neither side is some upstanding moral monolith. And yeah, then we have this moment in the harbor, which just leaves us with so many questions. What's the insignia? What's the weapon? Who saves Cyrus? What's happening next? And I'll be real with you guys, I love giving you questions, but I'm a little more coy with the answers. And you'll just have to see how the upcoming chapters go. So, if you're itching to get ahead, you're not alone. And you can do that in a couple of ways. First, you can listen to all the chapters right now. They're out for free. If you want to listen to them with a little more zip, you can listen along with us in public every week. In public is a weird way to describe that. It's on the public feed. Listen to us in public. But no, you can listen along with us. Like every week there'll be new episodes and it'll get updated, and that's what you're listening to right now. Or if you want to be a real sneaky beaky, you can get a Hero of Etera subscription on Patreon, which will allow you to listen to these weeks, sometimes even months ahead of schedule. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for listening. The choice is yours on how you choose to engage with the series. I'm so honored to have you here with me as we march on this journey towards Season 3. Cheers, guys.